This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, Tourism Minister Stuart Nash announces new rules and regulations for freedom camping. The DCC is set to install a new loo in the central city called a changing place bathroom. And backers of Oamaru's food banks are hurting after their premises were vandalised over the weekend. Tēnā koutou katoa, kia ora, I'm Simon Anderson. Freedom campers are still welcome in New Zealand as long as they follow some new rules. The details for new legislations were revealed earlier today and are looking to reduce the burden of freedom campers on small communities.
A tour around Frankton campground before an anticipated announcement. Tourism Minister Stuart Nash is in Queenstown today, exploring the Lake Avenue campground and revealing some tougher freedom camping legislation. New rules are looking to clamp down on the controversial vacation style, with a particular focus on fixed toilets.
So if you haven't got a fixed toilet and you're not deemed self-contained, then you will not be able to camp on any land owned by councils or Wakakatahi or LINZ, unless the council has designated an area specifically for freedom camping.
Nash says freedom camping puts an unfair burden on smaller communities, with the number of campers around New Zealand peaking at about 250,000 in 2019. Under the new legislation, $1,000 fines could be enforced, 5 times more than the current penalties. However, according to Queenstown Lakes Mayor Jim Bolt, freedom campers are still welcome.
Freedom campers are welcome in our district providing they obey the rules and they're in appropriate vehicles. But to pick up the Minister's point, there are lots and lots of places to camp where you can camp in any sort of vehicle or in a tent in our district.
When the bill is passed, the changes would roll out over 2 years, allowing owners time to bring their vehicles up to the new standards. In Queenstown, The South Today.
It's unclear how many firefighters in the south have refused to comply with the government's vaccine mandate. Fire and Emergency New Zealand is refusing to provide information on regional vaccination rates. While FEN says 90% of its personnel covered by the vaccination mandate are partially or fully vaccinated, the organisation isn't giving details on regional numbers. The mandate requires firefighters to have received their first vaccination yesterday and the second jab by January the 14th. The Inanahua Fire Station on the west coast is the only South Island brigade unable to operate due to not enough personnel. A new public toilet in Dunedin Central City will make a huge difference for people with complex disabilities and their caregivers. The DCC is set to open the new facility on International Day of Persons with Disabilities.
Dunedin is set to home the South Island's first changing places bathroom.
A facility for people with multiple complex disabilities, more than just a disabled toilet. It contains things like a hoist, an adult-sized changing facility, showers, space for a carer, all that kind of thing.
He says there are a handful of these type of facilities in the North Island. Standing at the site next to the Dunedin Public Library's Moray Place entrance, Dunedin City Council Group Manager Property Services David Bainbridge-Zafar says the launch of the facility is set to coincide with a special day.
Yeah, Friday the 3rd of December marks the International Day of People with Disabilities. So we wanted to confirm the location and announce it to kind of support that day in recognition of the number of people in Dunedin and in our community that have those kinds of disabilities that will really benefit from this facility.
Designs are being finalised and the installation of the bathroom is expected to start in 2022 and be completed by halfway through the year. He estimates the final cost of the build will be between $250,000 and $400,000. He says Dunedin citizens have been asking for this facility for a while.
And we've had a number of submissions over the last 18 months from members of the public in Dunedin asking us to build one of these.
The council committed to adding a changing places bathroom in the central city as part of this year's 10-year plan. And the DCC is also planning to build one in South Dunedin, near the South Dunedin hub. In Dunedin, the South Today.
One person has been flown to Dunedin Hospital in a serious condition following a crash in Oamaru this morning. Emergency services responded to a two-vehicle crash at the corner of Thames Street and Weir Street at 7:42 a.m. St John has confirmed 3 people were injured. One was flown to Dunedin while the other 2 people were treated in Oamaru Hospital. Police believe one of the drivers may have had a medical event. A break-in at an Oamaru food bank is particularly disappointing for its manager. He feels let down and believes the alleged perpetrator has received assistance from the organisation in the past.
The team at the Oamaru Church's food bank are upset their Front Street premises was broken into at the weekend.
And when I came down at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, I was disappointed, is a mild word.
Archdeacon Bernard Wilkinson manages the food bank and says it's the first time they've been broken into during his 30 years of volunteering. He says nothing was taken, but a mess had been made in a number of areas.
A bit of a attack on the place. We have a lot of boxes, banana boxes put aside for toot for tucker, and they are precious to us, but they'd all been chucked out in the rain, so they all got wet and soppy. Then somebody had broken in through the door of the kitchen in our premises by bashing out a panel and reaching around to open the ale lock. They then went in, perhaps because they didn't find any food, they might have got angry about it and kicked the toilet to pieces. And did a bit of other damage around the place, which can only be described as vandalism.
An Oamaru man in his 50s is alleged to have broken into the food bank in Front Street on Friday night. Wilkinson says the break-in is especially disappointing because the food bank offers its services for free and has done so for the alleged perpetrator in the past. In Oamaru, the South Today.
Whaiakine still to come on the South Today. More flying creatures are released into Dunedin's butterfly exhibit and an artwork so good it will take you to a different dimension. See you soon.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life. Tuesdays, 7:30.
Hi, it's November. We think that's too negative. We're calling it Govember. Time to go shopping. We've got a huge amount of stock we've bought in as special for you. So there's big selections of short sleeve shirts and polos, long sleeve casual and fashion shirts, jeans, trousers, casual trowel, shorts. Go check it out at Alex Campbell Menswear. Go while it's safe. Go while you can. Go while you save. It's Govember.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So remember, it's not November, it's Govember. Alex Campbell Menswear.
It's certainly being on a bike, the frustrations you get when people are behind you, they're impatient, you know, it's only 5 or 10 seconds more out of your day, and when you think about it, we're on a lot longer journey than you are, and just keeping space. It's not hard to give a metre, you know, even if it means waiting a minute or so to pass.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
No mai noa, welcome back. The Waitaki District Council is mourning one of its own today, as Ahuriri Ward Councillor Ross McRobie has died. The Otamatata-based councillor died last night, having started treatment 3 weeks ago following a cancer diagnosis earlier in the year. Waitaki Mayor Gary Kirchis says the council will miss his energetic personality and analytical decision-making. As well as his career in local government, McRobie worked as a chartered accountant and recently as a real estate agent. He died at the age of 70. The Tuhuda Tropical Forest is welcoming 4 new residents of the bird variety. The Indian ring-necked parakeets are settling in at the Otago Museum and looking to coexist with the famous butterflies.
Hanging onto the cage until the forest becomes their home. These 4 Indian ring-necked parakeets will soon be able to flap their wings around the Tuhuda Tropical Forest, once they have been trained. After being hand-reared at the Dunedin Botanical Gardens, the birds were gifted to the Otago Museum to join the other residents of the tropical forest.
So over the next few weeks we'll let them get used to this new environment. Once they get used to the cage and know that that's the place where they go for food, go to sleep, and we can improve our recall and training with them, then we'll introduce them to the forest.
Parakeets are known to live for about 30 years and are only a few months old. These birds will spend a lot of their time with the forest's tropical butterflies. The birds eat seeds, fruit and vegetables, so they won't be looking at the butterflies as a snack. However, the museum will ensure the birds are well entertained.
So we will be providing them with lots of stimulation. The butterflies obviously could be quite interesting, so we'll want to keep them busy.
While there are no solid plans to introduce more parakeets yet, it's certainly an option for the museum going forward.
These 4 are a bit of a trial, I think, so we can potentially get some more, seeing how they do out in the forest.
Once the birds have settled in, you may see them spreading their wings around the forest in months to come. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A doorway to different dimensions is currently under covers in the Octagon. The sculpture is being installed and will be revealed later this week. The $65,000 Korte Tūhona is a cast aluminium replica of the doorway into Otako's Wharenui Tamatea. The doorway was designed by Aisha Green and represents a gateway connecting to ancestral ecologies. Korte Tūhona was the pick of 4 shortlisted works of art. After the break on the South Today, hundreds of wee ducks are set loose in Alexandra and the Gore community welcomes a new active initiative. Hea koko ake nei.
All new episodes of Put Some Colour in Your Life are now screening on Channel 39. Take a look at Australian artists and the techniques they use in their studio. Put Some Colour in Your Life, Tuesdays, 7:30.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Just plan your route a little bit, choose nice and quiet roads. In the winter it's always nice to ride north and south. That way you get the driest route and less likely to hit black ice.
every season. We're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hey, what have you got? Okay. Chicks World, party time, excellent. Love it! Chicks World! Chicks World! Right.
Hoki mai anō. The Alexandra District Parent Centre had all its ducks in a row for its postponed race on Saturday, despite having to cancel accompanying family event. There was much anticipation from both onshore and the bridge above as spectators waited for the arrival of more than 670 little yellow plastic ducks. The annual Alexandra District Parent Centre fundraiser sees the ducks sold each for $5 for those hopeful their duck will be the first across the line. There was no word on the winner, but number 580 was the last across the line. Parent Centre says no ducks escaped this year, unlike in 2018 when one escapee was found at the Roxburgh Dam. The Gore community will get the chance to create great play memories, something local principal Wendy Ketor is really excited about. The East Gore community is one of just 4 neighbourhoods selected from across New Zealand to pilot a new community play initiative. It's being backed by Active Southland and supported by the Gore District Council and Sport New Zealand. Active Southland Tamariki says play is a vital part of growing up, but many New Zealand children were not able to play the way generations before them had. The East Gore community will have the opportunity to have their say over the next few weeks. Gore District Council Mayor Tracy Hicks said the community play initiative is an exciting approach. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Tourism Minister Stuart Nash announces new rules and regulations for freedom camping. The DCC is set to install a new loo in the central city called a changing place bathroom. And backers of Oamaru's food banks are hurting after their premises were vandalised over the weekend. And now for a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, we welcome Associate Editor Joe Simpson. Kia ora, Joe.
Hi. We are the Reset. Christopher locks in on becoming National Party leader. A popular North Otago restaurant has decided decision not to implement the vaccine mandates means it will only be open for takeaways when the traffic light system kicks in on Friday.
Right.
Neighbourhood roosters in Dunedin may not be on the chopping block after all. And shake the sand out of your togs and buy some new sunscreen. We've got hot weather maybe on the horizon. And need some inspiration for Christmas nibbles? See our fish section.
Great, Joe. Thanks very much. And time now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Starting with today's southern view, taken of a sign on New Lawn in the Octagon. Looking at the situation, we can see northeasterly airstream blowing over the southern districts. It'll last a few days, tending northerly and becoming warmer by the end of the week. It's warm in the northwest, 20 or 21 degrees, but variable weather, showers in Westport, just partial cloud in Greymouth. Partial cloud in the northeast too, Blenheim on 18, Nelson on 22 degrees. It's cool on the Canterbury coast. Christchurch escapes with only cloud, but it's wet either side. Kaikoura on 14, Christchurch 16, and Ashburton 17 degrees. To the south, the Catlins on the coast is both cool and cloudy, moderate northeasterlies too on 16 degrees, but it's fine everywhere else, light northerlies for the other 3 centres between 20 and 22. And it's very fine in central, light northerlies here too, and while Te Anau peaks at 18 degrees, everywhere else reaches 23 to 25. Further north it's fine inland as well, light northerlies and 24 or 25 degrees. While it's cloudy on the coast, the northeast winds are stronger in Oamaru and Timaru on 16 and 17. In Dunedin tonight, cloudy with northeast winds but a mild low of 11. It remains overcast tomorrow with some drizzle patches early and cool northeast winds becoming fresh and breezy, a high of 15 and a low of 12. And while Thursday starts cloudy too, the sun breaks through with fresh breezy northeast winds, a high of 18 and a mild low again of 13. And in Invercargill, it's fine and cool tonight with an overnight low of 5. Mostly fine and sunny tomorrow too, with light winds, a high of 21 and a low of 6. And the late week just gets warmer, sunny with some high clouds and moderate northerly winds, a high of 24 and a low of 8. And that's the news this Tuesday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and you can follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Like and subscribe to be notified of that southern news as it happens. Nō reira kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.